Panel discussion, which is now coming on the blockchain and digital assets and investors' perspective. Well, crypto assets or crypto have garnered significant attention from the media, financial analysts, governments, regulatory institutions, and investors over the last 2 years. We explore strategies that our most prominent VCs and hedge funds are deploying to generate investment yield with the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Well, we're looking at a VC's view of the space, building scalable blockchain businesses, crypto funds 2.0, what the next generation of crypto funds looks like, a look at the current and future trends, which is going to be covered. So, very engaging panel discussion is coming up. Also joining them is Kevin Soltani, the founder of GMA Group. Well, the CEO of GMA Group, Kevin, the GMA Group being an alternative investment advisory based in LA and Dubai, focused on building smart city blockchain technologies and tokenized platforms for the gaming space. In 2012, Kevin's company, BitRig Builders, became one of the first Southern California crypto mining companies to customize solutions for the early days of mining.
Yes, we
All
can.
right. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for everybody joining today. Kevin Soltani from GMA Group, here coming from you here in Orange County, California. It's about just pushing midnight. So anybody else from California or USA, thanks for joining. But GMA Group's an alternative investment advisory, mainly focusing and servicing blockchain tech, where we've invested, co-invested, and raised capital for blockchain projects in the last 6 years. We sold our first blockchain crypto project, I should say, in mining in 2012. In the early days of mining, we were one of the first solutions in Southern California to deliver customized solutions in the mining space. We moved on, and for the last 3 years, we've built more gaming related technologies, tokenized platforms, and blockchain solutions for the gaming space, anti-fraud, anti-cheating, anti-hacking, some KYC solutions so that the players are more comfortable in certain tournament settings. And we also were one of the founding members of the first tokenized tournament hosting platform for on the blockchain in gaming in 2018. We did an ICO, Yamzu, where that's still around and kicking and doing well in Sweden. Our main passion is to coexist the two brands of what is blockchain and gaming, and now esports is the new buzzword. So esports is even taking great advantage of many solutions within blockchain, from the contracts that are going to be coming up and the great things in AI that we see going on inside gameplay. And the last note on inside gameplay, and the beautiful thing for the tokenization, which I'm sure we'll get into as an investable tool, is the massive opportunity that's is still here and yet to come in the in-game tokenization of gaming. So no, it's a cliche to say, and everybody's been hearing about it since we've been on this lockdown pandemic. But gaming and all things online and digitalization have obviously taken a bump up. And so those assets, some of them being tied to some of the tokens I was talking about, and some of the companies that were doing some of the token offerings that weren't going to come out in the gambling space, have been expedited probably now a couple quarters ahead of schedule. And that's a good thing, I guess, because they were ready, and we're going to see some great technologies come out for the gambling space. And I know that's not such an exciting space for the technology itself, but at least some of the things that we're building are taking care of the anti-theft and, again, the anti-fraud stuff, which we do need, as you saw in the last few days. And security is a big issue too in the gaming space. So I can say, for the purposes of what's happened in COVID and everybody being home, our business and all things that have to do with building those technologies have taken a fast track as far as it goes with the tokenization and the gambling products that these companies are now looking to service more and more users as they come online. So that's all I can say about that specific industry as what we're building. I think the similarities for what we saw last time are definitely the craze, as you mentioned, and that hasn't changed because of the lack of education of the 80-20, right? The 80% are still uneducated, and the 20% are getting more and more educated, in my opinion. And that's a good thing for the sophistication of the projects that come across our desk, because that helps the investor make the more, rash decision of where to allocate the money. 3-4 years ago, even the savviest of investors was tough because it was such a craze, right? That the hype was real, and some of those projects are still around, giving them the respect, but many aren't. And so what I see that is different from this one is also the education. I do feel like the knowledge and that's going around is a bit more sophisticated. Even at these conferences, we've been speaking at these now. I feel like we used to say these 2 years ago, where like we'd all just speak to each other, right? So like these 6 people on this panel, or 4 people, like we were just speaking to each other. And I don't even know if we might just be still doing that, to be honest. But the conversation, the level has gone a bit up, and now in America, at least, we're talking about certain, SEC regulations that are being pushed. I don't know if you guys saw today what happened with the Bank of England, or their announcement. So that's exciting, as for someone that's in California but looking to move toward London for some business. That's exciting news to see what the CDTOCs can do. And I have some friends doing great things in the Bahamas and certain third world countries like that, where these type of assets are definitely necessary. And I'd like to just agree with you in saying that if it doesn't make it out of this recession, then we're going to have a tough time, with its thesis. And this is its time to shine. And if you look at what entrepreneurs did just in Silicon Valley in the last boom, if we want to try to show ourselves in our spirit, this is the time for the proper projects to see the light of day and get out of this darkness, I guess. For the equity side, if you're asking personally, what is our approach? We tried the token route with especially the STOs about a year and a half ago, which we thought we had some of the best technologies, and we only go after technologies, and that ended up being a bit of tough route because the burn rates are so high. Sometimes it's not a culmination of what's going on with the technology and how fast you can get it off the ground. In the case of STOs, it was a little slower because it got a bit more regulated in a good way. So if you're asking personally what we do, our approach is equity based at this point, because we can take a hands-on approach and become operational. With tokens, it becomes really tough because you need to be an influencer marketer rather than a helper of the technology. We become salesmen of these tokens so much to the value of the technology gets lost if we can work on that sophistication side.
So within gaming and also blockchain gaming, we saw there are many different cases. Some are also very successful. But in your opinion, what do you think will be the new future for blockchain gaming? Like, for example, before it was mostly collectible. These days, we also have games like X Infinity, where you can play the game to earn reward, which also has been pretty popular. But do you see what are like some of the new trends that people don't notice yet, but which you believe that it's going to be big in the future? Or it can be the same old setup, but some way more playable or like more fun, So that kind of trend. If you can share it, that'd be great.
Yeah. First of all, Heinrich, nice chair, and pleasure to meet fellow. I saw that at the beginning, and then I see your sweet artwork in the background,
Yeah.
So we'll have a combo after. But honestly, I think the exciting thing about the blockchain technology, realistically, is the anti-hacking, anti-cheating. Right now, one of the largest games that's a free game is Call of Duty Warzone, and that's got a big hacking problem right now, and that's a large player prize pool that's going to go on. That's just for the technology side itself, because it's super easy to implement, which we've done, as I mentioned, for the last 3 years in Yamzu. But what I think is right now, right in front of our face, but we need 10 or 15 more of them, and you're about to see them come in troves, are, like I said, tokenized assets within the game, in-game currencies. Right now, you have Fortnite with their V-Bucks, and billions of dollars in mobile microtransactions are happening. And it's going right in front of our eyes. And these are tokens. Let's not mistake the fact that just because they are not exchanged on popular exchanges, these are just as powerful as anything we've built in our industries. and they've been doing it right in front of us for years now. And I think we're about to see many more of those. And we've yet to see in-game currency exchanges, in-game skins and items and things like that that can be hosted on the blockchain and tokenized at the same time. I just give a plug for what I might butcher their name, Socios is doing, and they're giving voting rights to essentially teams. So they've tokenized Paris Saint-Germain, one of the largest football teams in the world, and for the purposes of tokenizing everything from merchandising to voting rights. And I think in gaming, and that's a bit of it, right? That's a gamification of sports. We're about to see much more of those tokenized assets come out. So it's an exciting year to come in gaming.